All right, what's going on, guys? So to start off this cut, we're going to be going in with the blade all the way open to make our first guideline, and we're going to be going all the way around the head. Now, this first guideline is what's ultimately going to decide how high the fade's going to be. So make sure in the client consultation you address that, right? You want to make sure that you're not putting it too high, too low. Make sure the client's happy with where you're putting that guideline. All right, so the next panel that we're going to do, we're going to put on our one guard and close the lever all the way. For those of you who are wondering, closed lever just means all the way in the up position, or the lever towards the front of the clipper pretty much. So we're going to have that one guard closed. We're going to be going up about 1 inch and making that first panel. Make sure you go all the way around the head, making sure that that line is, or that panel is consistent all the way around. So I just jumped to the other side and I met around in the back. I just do that to make sure that I'm even on both sides, right? So there's reference points in the front of the head that you can use to make sure that you're the same height, and rather than just going all the way around, because if you just go all the way around from one side all the way to the other, sometimes you'll be a little crooked. Now we're gonna put that half guard on, open it up about halfway, and we're going to start down fading that panel. So we're just going to go up right below that top line and slowly work our way down, closing the clipper a little bit at a time, and you'll see that bottom line start to disappear. And notice I'm not just, flicking at the line or whatever. I said I'm going up and working my way down. So what that's ultimately going to do is create gradients within that panel, right? Because that's what a fade is. You're trying to go from lightest to darkest, shortest to longest, and if you're just sitting there flicking at a line, you're not really creating gradients throughout that blend, right? So you're trying to achieve a nice smooth transition from one guard to the next, and like I said, this is just the best way to do it. And I really like this method where I'll go up, create a guideline, and then I'll fade the panel going downwards. So it's kind of like, I don't know, up down fading. I make my panels, I make my guidelines going up and then just fade downwards. Let me know in the comments down below how you like to fade, what your system looks like. Now we got that 1.5 guard closed, and we're going up, making our last panel. And then after this, we'll just take that one guard with the lever all the way open, because that's pretty much equivalent to the 1.5 guard close. And we'll start working our way down just like we did with that half guard. So you'll see here in a minute. You see here, I just jump to the front and I'm bringing it to the back just to make sure that I'm consistent all the way around, like I was saying before. So there we are with our one guard open, the lever all the way down. We're taking the same steps that we took with that half guard. We're just going to go up, stop right below that top line, and gradually work our way down and close a clipper a little at a time. See right there, we just closed it 2 notches, and we're just going to go right below where we left off. close it a little more. If I'm not mistaken, I believe the clipper is all the way closed, right? So as the old saying goes, what you put it in with is what you take it out with. So we put that line in with the one guard closed, and now we have the one guard closed again to take it out. Sometimes, you know, you can get away with not doing that, and then sometimes, you know, you have to. With this particular client, he has really thick, coarse hair, and sometimes I just have to work a little harder to get that blend to come out right the way I want it. And you're gonna run into that. Some clients, their hair just, you know, it blends easy, and some it's just gonna take a little bit more effort. But that's all right, as long as you know your steps, you know your system. You know, you shouldn't have a hard time making sure that that blend comes out right. Now we got that 2-guard close, and as you see right here, I'm coming straight off the head. I'm not going into the round of the head, so we're working right at the parietal ridge now, where the head starts to round into the top. And like I said, we're just going straight up, trying to create that square shape. Then after this, we'll use a little clipper over comb to connect it, you know, really bring it together. And then we'll refine it a little more with some thinner shears, and then that should pretty much be the cut. So you see here we got, you know, a little clipper over comb action. Making sure to keep everything nice and squared. When you're doing this step, I recommend that, you know, every couple cuts you take a step back and then pretty much like look at the profile, make sure that it's nice and square, and you know, make sure you're not rounding off the head or creating any kind of weird shapes. Now we got that 1.5 guard, and it's about halfway open, and we're gonna start blending down, right? So the last guard we had was the 2. Now we got that 1.5 guard, and then you'll see we'll go to the 1 guard, half guard, and it's pretty much just doing our same steps in reverse, just cross-checking our work, making sure the blend is coming out right. Here we are with some thinner shears, just refining that ridge, making it nice and soft. Nothing too aggressive. See right there, I'm pointing out that that little spot. Yeah, that spot gave me a real hard time in this cut. For some reason, I don't know why. I had to give it a little extra love, right? Sometimes that happens, like I said before. See, we got that half guard. It's about half open. Just attacking that spot, and then we're actually gonna wind up switching to a different clipper completely to get that out. I don't know why. Sometimes that just works. You know, sometimes you're having a hard time with an area. You could just, you know, try switching clippers, and it might do the trick. You never know. So there we are with our Wahl 1919s. And notice I took that guard off. I got the blade all the way open, and I'm just using the corners, right? And that pretty much did the trick. But we weren't keeping the blade flat because, you know, that would have definitely created another line. Now we're just going to line them up. No, I'm not pushing him back right there. That's all just bangs, right? You see his hair is just overhanging his natural hairline. So that was not a pushback. Don't even come at me with it. And no, I do not normally hold the trimmers like that. I'm just doing that because my arm would have gotten away the camera. So I just did that for you guys, so you can see what I was doing. Just line up that neck. Now we're gonna make a bald line because he does want the back tapered out. So while we're there with the trimmers, we'll just make the bald line real fast. Clean up his neck. We'll jump to the other side and then do the same thing pretty much. Make sure you're brushing those hairs down, trying to get all those hairs to hang over, right? Because sometimes they push over into the rest of the bulk of the hair, and you know, later on after he like takes a shower or combs his hair again, he'll have some hairs hanging over that hairline. So make sure you get them all down in the beginning and just cut them off from right when you're lining them up, and it'll pretty much, you know, prevent any problems later on for him. I'm going to finish making that bald line on the bottom of the neck, and then we're going to start tapering out the back here. And you're going to see I pull out a different clipper for this. I pull out my cordless Wahl seniors with the fade blade on them. And the reason I did that instead of going back to the Babyliss was because these have the fade blade on them, they cut a lot closer. And since I put that bald line in with the Andis Cordless T outliners, I just knew with the way that my tools are adjusted that the Babyliss wouldn't have been able to get it out, right? Because it's got that taper blade on them. So big part of saving time and being more efficient is just knowing your tools and knowing what tools will do what and what tools blend into what. And it's really going to make you a lot more efficient and save you a lot of time in the long run. You'll see I finish off with these clippers with the blade all the way open, and they still leave a line here at the top. And remember, we put that line in, or that whole panel is the blade all the way open with the Babyliss, right? So the blade open on the seniors doesn't even blend into the blade open on the Babyliss because they cut that much closer. But that's fine. We'll just grab the Babyliss and close it up a little bit, and it should blend it out just fine. And you don't need all these clippers. It's just, you know, once you have them, you have that luxury of, you know, being able to mess around with the way they're adjusted and, you know, pretty much do stuff like this, right? So, but if you don't have all those clippers, you can get these same results. You just, like I said, just know how your tools are adjusted. Make sure that they're adjusted according to each other, pretty much, right? Just know that, you know, if, you know, you have your liners adjusted one way, that your regular clippers will be able to blend out whatever lines they put in, especially when you're doing like bald fades and stuff. Now we're just lining them up with the razor. Put that 245 shave gel on there. Give them a nice smooth edge up. Right, we're not going to be pulling any hairs, snagging any hairs because of that shave gel, right? It just makes it so smooth whenever you're shaving somebody. You notice here I'm just using the corner of that blade. You don't need to try to use the entire blade. That's something that I had to learn. I used to think that, you know, you always had to use the whole blade, but that's not true. You can, you know, sometimes you can only use the corner. That's all you have room for. So you got to do what you got to do. That's pretty much it. That's the cut, guys. Let me know down below in the comments what you think, what you like, what you didn't like. If you got anything out of this, let me know. If there's you know, any criticism that you got, let me know. You know, I'd be more than happy to talk to you, get your feedback, right? Because I'm still learning, I'm still growing. But that's pretty much it, guys. That's the cut.